Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. We're continuing our career. I've already said that we're going to take the 9-ton trailer short trip right here. I've already actually driven to the place to pick up the trailer. So we're going to do that. Good job. And again, we're only hauling 9 tons, so this will be really easy, I think. Hopefully we can cruise the whole run well, we should be able to cruise. Even if we have to rest, we should be able to cruise the whole run in a single video and not have to worry about overrunning too much. So, I'm not in the best of moods today. I have what I like to call end of the month blues. Really kind of weighing down on me today. If you don't know, end of the month blues, as I like to refer to them, is this thing that everybody goes through that lives on disability. Ooh, I thought I was gonna... But, oh, I want to turn the orbitals on because we are driving a longer than standard trailer. But, yeah, when it comes down to it, end of the month, it's anyone who lives on disability who only gets paid once a month, and anyone who's on food assistance, whether you have jobs but you need food assistance or things like that, you go through these times. And it's the time where at the end of the month you're down to the scraps, you know. There's not much left here and there, and you're just getting by on the last few days until you're able to go back out and refresh everything. Although I'm also facing, and this is always fun, first, you know, beginning of the month, jitters, because you got to pay all the bills. Oops, I turned this off by accident. First of the month bills, in which you have to you know, pay all the bills and then see what you have left. And we've got a bit of a big bill to pay this month in our new cell phones because it's an activation fee. And I really got to remember to contact Verizon. As a matter of fact, I may even just, after this, go write them a letter and bring our plan down. We don't need the plan that I had originally selected. We can actually go lower than that, which is what I'm looking to do. Not 111, 110, thank you. So this is just going to be like really a get on the highway and just try to cruise kind deal. There's a camera up here, isn't there? I just saw the sign for it and the speed limit dropped. Matter of fact, that may have been it that we just passed on that pole. Yeah, it was, because there's the no more camera sign. So, we're not going to be like too hard up on this run. And I'm going to try to lay off picking on the poor little Iveco because I know people are fans of it. And again, as I said, it's not a bad truck. It's just not one of my personal favorites. And I really shouldn't pick on it. You know, everyone loves their trucks, and I think, in a sense, everyone has the truck they like out of the big three, and then everyone has the truck they really like, which is usually a sentimental or underdog truck. And if you don't know what the big three are, if you're new and you're not familiar, the big three are this: the Volvo, the MAN, and the Scania, not in that particular order because each one of them tends to rule a category. In the terms of most power, the lineup goes, the Volvo's number 1 at 750, the Scania's number 2, I believe it's 730, And the man is number 3 at 697. Um, something along those lines. I could have stopped for gas. I'll try to remember the next gas station. But the man somewhere along, it's like 690 something, I believe. In terms of stability, the man is actually the most stable truck. The Volvo and Scania, you could really toss it up between the two. I like to give the edge to the Scania because the Volvo appears to be a little more top-heavy, but in terms of driving them, it's kind of hard to tell. And then, in terms of popularity, Scania is above and beyond number 1 by far, followed by Volvo, and usually by MAN after that, at a very, very, very distant third, I believe. But it's no joke that Scania's number 1. The Scania R-Type, Scania R, is above and beyond. There's more skins for it, there's more modifications for it, more parts for it, more engines, chassis, designs. There's just more of everything for it. It's the most popular truck in the game by far. And then everything under that I call an underdog truck. DAF, Mercedes, Iveco, Renault, all those trucks. When it comes down to, I really should slow down. When it comes down to underdog trucks, I'm really at a toss-up, especially now that I have a third. My top 3, and in real no particular order, well, kind of a particular order, would be the new DAF Euro. That truck's just really nice. It may not have the power, but it drives well. It's just really nice to drive. You feel really good behind the wheel or controller or whatever you may be using while driving it. This is a really bad turn, by the way. We're going to knock down a sign. But it's okay. But yeah, it's just overall an amazing truck. Number 2 would be the Mercedes, which the new Mercedes is coming up very soon, actually, and I'm actually really excited for that. I'm totally excited for the new Mercedes to come out. But the old Mercedes, the old Actros, is definitely a favorite of mine. It's got one of the longest 4x2 chassis in the game, if not the longest 4x2 chassis in the game, which actually, despite the fact that it's not a very wide stance compared to other trucks, it gives it an amazing amount of stability. And I just love the sound of it. And for some reason, it has a lot, and I mean a lot, of low-down grunt power torque to get started. It has no issues with any trailer getting rolling, and it actually pulls really well on the hills. It's an amazing little truck, and I say little, just, meaning compared to the other 3. It's an amazing vehicle. I absolutely love the Mercedes Actros. Would I pick it over the DAF? Well, that's why I say it's kind of no particular order, because I would actually have a hard time choosing. But as I sit here and think about it, I would lean more towards the Actros over the Euro, especially with the new one coming out. That's just too exciting to ignore. And my final sentimental favorite is actually the Renault. Yeah, the Renault Magnum, not the Premium. I'm less of a fan of the premium than I am of the Iveco, but the Renault Magnum, despite being woefully underpowered even at the high end, lacking a 4 by even a 4 by 6 by 2 chassis. You know, it only gets a 4 by 2 chassis, as the premium as well. Only gets a 4 by 2 chassis. You know, with all of this stuff just missing. This kind of looks like it might be a mid-corner. I still actually like the Magnum, although I tend not to drive it unless I can mod in a good chassis for it. Like if you go back and you search my my Black Knight video, that was an awesome Renault Magnum modification. The chassis, the lights, just the overall look of the truck, and I was able to put a more powerful engine into it, because sadly I think the most powerful engine available in the Renaults is a 450. 450 horsepower. Alright, now granted you're not going to have the low end torque because of the transmission and it's not diesel, but there are cars out there built today that put out I'm not talking about supercars. I'm talking about, you know, cars that you can go buy in places. There are cars out there today that put out more than that in terms of horsepower. And there are probably cars out there that could match the torque, although not at the low RPM. But there are diesel trucks out there, just standard Dodge, Chrysler, whatnot diesel trucks that could haul almost as well, if not as well, as that, in my opinion. It's not entirely true. They don't have the frame, the suspension, but still, it just feels wrong for a truck to not have the option of a better chassis and a more powerful engine. Oh, okay, it was changing. I actually could have sailed through it. But it just feels wrong for a truck not to have the option of a more powerful engine and a bigger chassis. But I can't help it. I love the way the Magnum looks. I like driving it. I like the cab inside. It's just one of those things. It's like, you can't explain why you like it. You just do. Clear. Thought we were clear. It looked clear when I was turning, but it's okay. We didn't crash, so that counts for something. Okay. Actually, let's go to the inside lane. Okay, so we're making awesome time already. Already gone more than 200 kilometers. We've got plenty of stamina to go on our stamina bar. We should make this without too much of an issue, I think. Still haven't got my stuff in Eve either, although they were talking about, I was listening to two of our logistic guys talking about they may make runs soon. So hopefully that'll happen. I try to stay ambiguous as possible talking about Eve, because you never know when somebody might find out. figured it's best to slam the brakes and slow down and do that rather than try and do it at full speed. But, yeah, I was losing track of what I was saying. I tried to be as ambiguous as possible in EVE because you never know. EVE is a game of espionage as much as it is anything else, and any information I could give could actually be enough information to tip off somebody, do some searching and whatnot, try and figure things out, and actually maybe do some damage to the corporation I'm in. And I need to be more careful than normal now because of the corporation I'm in, being in the alliance that I'm in, being part of the larger group that it is. I really, really, really want to be a little bit more ambiguous because, you know, when I was part of Faultline Industries, we're a little renter corp. At our maximum, we had 22 members, and that was online at one time. And and quite a few of those were alts. I mean, I counted for 3 of the 22, just to give you an idea. Well, looks like the rain's gonna quit on us. That's spectacular. Means I don't need my lights anymore. I'll be able to shut the wipers off here very shortly. There we go. So there's all that, which will really be nice. And, gosh, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you know, it's just being a small renter corp. Our freighter service that we used didn't move much at any given point in time. Things were very easy, smooth, clockwork, you know. It was the kind of thing that nobody would care about too much. The corporation I'm in now, a little bit different. You know, I even heard what was going to be in one of the shipments, and I was like, talking about that openly on comms, if there was a spy in there, oh boy. But everything was cool, you know. Too fast, come on, get with the program. At least I could think everything was cool, so hopefully I'll get my stuff soon and find out what I'm still missing, and I'll be able to buy that and ship it down. I'm not going to be in a hurry to ship it. Just getting my Gilas up and running so I can run those and not run my Megatron Navy issue. It's a good ship. I actually enjoy flying it. It does well, but it just chews up so much ammo. Oh, it chews up so much ammo. You have no idea. I've only used it for about 5 or 6 combat sites, and I was already starting to run low. Out of 15,000 rounds, I was already down to 8,000. I'd already used half of it. So I went out and bought another 15,000 to add to what was there. And it does well. I've had to make some modifications to it for what it was. It was, I believe, a ratting ship that could handle normal ratting sites, but combat sites, the ones that I typically do, sorry, I don't mean yawn. The ones I typically do, they're a little more difficult to a lot more difficult. So what I did is I pulled off, oh, apparently I had slowed down. That's okay. I think I hit the brake is what I did, and I wasn't paying attention. So the way it was set up, I pulled the damage control unit off it, which is funny. I'm taking away resist, but I found out it didn't really need it. It wasn't adding that much to it because it has on it what's known as a reactive armor hardener. And what that does is reactive armor hardener shifts its resistances up to 60% resistant into a single resist from what's there. Basically, it's 15% across the board. So it can do all resist at 15%, 2 resist at 30%, or 1 resist at 60%. And 9 out of 10 times, most of the combat sets I'm going to do are going to be like all kinetic damage. So I'm going to get 60% resist in there. Plus I have 2 more kinetic hardeners, so I've gotten up to 95% resist kinetic. And the damage control unit with that much resist already was making it like 96%. It was 1% more. Wasn't really worth it. And then on top of that, I only had 1 large armor repairing on it, 1 large armor rep on it. So what I did was I pulled off the damage control unit and I threw on another large armor rep on it. And sadly, it was, I don't mind it being unstable. Unstable means I cannot run everything on the ship without eventually running out of power and things turning off. You know, you have a capacitor, it recharges at a certain rate, and you can refill it. It has a certain amount, recharges at a certain rate. The lower it goes, the faster it recharges up to a maximum amount of recharge speed. The more stuff you put on it, of course, the more energy it takes, and the more likely it is to not be able to sustain running. And there are things that you can do to get around this. There are things known as cap boosters. These are items that you put on. You load them with these charges known as cap boosters, and they basically inject your capacitor with power. But that's limited. You only have as much as you have ammo, and some of the ammo that you use can take up quite a lot of space. So the other thing you can do is put on cap rechargers. These are devices that you can put on the mid and low slots, depending on which type you have, in order to make the capacitor recharge faster. It already had 3 capacitor rechargers in the mid and none in the lows, and it was cap stable with everything running, including the large armor repper. With 2 reppers, it didn't have much time, at least not as much as I would need. About, I don't know what it was, 7 minutes or so, 5 minutes. So what I ended up doing was I ended up hurting its damage a little bit. I pulled off one of the, what's known as the magnetic stabilizers. This makes your guns more accurate, and they're able to do more and it makes them more damaging. So that cost me about 50 DPS, meaning I went from doing about 655 down to 605. And then I went put onto it what's known as a capacitor flux coil. This is a low slot recharging device for the capacitor, and it said it made it stable, but the in-game tool for fittings isn't that accurate. Many times, as a matter of fact, sometimes it said some of the rattlesnake I went fit up could do 3,000 DPS, and that's just completely unreasonable. 3,000 DPS in a rattlesnake's just not gonna happen, and I am like totally breaking the law here. My rattlesnake gets about 1,000 DPS, 1,011 at maximum DPS. So there is that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sniff. That's twice I've done that, and I know it's irritating. At least it can be. So I heard the DPS a little bit in it, but I made up the DPS by pulling all the drones that the guy had in it. I pulled out all those drones because they were all medium and small drones, and I put in 5 heavy drones, 5 large drones, which turned out to be a good move because I actually can now do 6. Let's watch the trailer there, John. Okay, this turn's gonna suck. I can now do like 600. It would be nice if cars would stop coming from the right, but as you can see, that's probably not gonna happen. No, it might. Nope, there's another one. One of the drawbacks to having modded in trailers. Oh, damn it. Give me a sec. Let me make it so I stop doing that so much. Okay, that's better. So basically what I have now is I can run both armor reppers for a good 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes, which is choice. That's more than enough in order to do it. Boy, this is a steep downhill. I'd rather tackle this the other way with a big trailer. So we got some kind of concert going on over there. I should be able to just whip around this guy, because I still got plenty of downhill momentum. He did it at the wrong time. There we go. So by pulling out the medium drones and putting in the heavy drones, I actually got it up to 664 DPS. Damage per second, and it does really well now. I'm very happy and proud with it, and I wouldn't actually mind continuing to use it doing combat sites if it wasn't for the fact that I chewed up so much ammo, and it's expensive ammo. Well, not really. I mean, for 15,000 rounds, I think I spent 16, 17 million. That's really not a lot, but I'm used to rattlesnakes where I load in, let's see, 12, 13,000 missiles, you know, and I'm still using those missiles, you know? Because the Megathron has 7 guns, and they fire quite frequently, in all due honesty. It's like every 3 or 4 seconds all 7 guns fire. Whereas the my rattlesnakes with the missile launchers, they only fire like once every, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 seconds. It's really slow, and they only launch 5 at a time. So it really does make a difference. Plus the drones on my rattlesnakes are very powerful. They do very well, and I don't often use missiles versus the Megathron, which I really actually do need to use missiles to support my drones. So it gets to be a bit of an issue right now, but I don't know. I'll have my helos up and running shortly. I'm considering changing my helos as well. I'm considering taking off the rapid lights, getting Caldari Navy large shield extenders rather than the 2s that's on there right now, and seeing if I could make my Gila's large missile, not large, heavy missile Gilas instead. Because I think heavy missiles would benefit better. I think I get a little bit more DPS out of them than the rapid lights. I get more DPS. I get, see, I get more DPS. I'd get more, I'd get a much better reload time. Rapid lights take 35 seconds to reload. What's up, dude? Whereas, the heavies will take like 10 seconds. And I'd also get more range. The rapid lights only get to about 36 kilometers. The heavies will reach out to about 50 something. So I really feel like that's what I want to do. I want to switch them to heavies. My nephew's done downloading. If my stuff is still in Jita, I may actually even try and see if I can take the 500 mil that's still on my shopping vault and pick up what I need to make them heavies. And again, I could also wait because I need to buy plexes very, very soon. And I have over $1 billion right now in stuff to ship to Jita. This isn't fun. Think y'all could find a better place to park. And I have 500 million on my alt that I use to shop for things in Jita. So that's already 1.5 billion, which it's about 2.8 billion for Plex right now, I believe. So that only leaves 1.3 billion that I'll be spending out of pocket that I haven't already made in profit, which is nice. So I'm not sure. I mean, I just gotta go and look and see what the things cost. Kind of hard to tell if I got this or not. I got it good enough. Excellent work. Not too many screw-ups. And we've leveled. Everything's maxed out. So now we're just going to evenly go across the board here. And I sniffed again, didn't I? So where's our nearest rest point? We need a rest point. Is there a town even close by? I mean, there's a hotel and gas station over here. There's a town way the fuck up there. There's one over there behind, all behind toll booths. I mean, really? Those are the two towns. That's not entirely fun. This is a bit of an inconvenience on the delivery, if you ask me. I don't think we'll make that. Nope. So what we'll do is there's a rest place right here, this hotel. And then wherever we pick up our trailer, we'll also have a garage, and we'll repair there. So there we go. Loan installment, nothing more. I really gotta take care of that. Upgrades. New lower grill guard. New top, new sun visor. I don't know, I could swap in a new sun visor. Go with the dragonfly. Matches the color of the truck a little bit more. So let's see what we have where we are. We can only choose Belonzo. Sadly, we can't choose Innsbruck. So that kind of sucks. This looks interesting. It goes to Merck, and we haven't been there. That's cool. Stop it. Bulldozer, not as interesting. Pallets, not as interesting. Logs, I haven't hauled that yet, and that's an interesting trailer. Amaz 1 profile hopper. 4 tons? Talk about underworked. And we could actually still probably do that in one shot. Yeah, nothing actually super special. So we'll probably just take the ship parts. 19 tons, fast delivery, high value cargo. This will be 2 episodes at 16, 18 kilometers of driving to Merca. I know it's not how you pronounce it. It's Mercia. Mercia. Thank you. But I'm just I apologize. I butcher things like that. Sometimes on purpose, kind of like there. Sometimes not, because I'm not very good at figuring out how to pronounce words that I don't already know. And when they're foreign words, that makes it even worse. You can imagine how long it took me to be able to pronounce even simple words here in Hawaii when I first moved. Didn't go out very well. So yeah, we'll take the ship parts, I think. That'll be our next run from Belonzo to, what was it again? Mercia. All right, folks, so that's going to be me done for this episode. Don't forget to leave a comment, rate, and subscribe. Other than that, this is going to be one big bug. I'm going to be signing out, and I will see you next time.